Konnichiwa, welcome to episode 2 of Offside on Tap with me, Tricky, your host, here to predict all of the Premier League matches this season. Let's get into it. Beer choice, second beer of the series, is Asahi, hence the Konnichiwa at the start of this. So, my choice Asahi, it is 5% alcohol, and it is... It comes with a super dry taste, according to the makers of it. You can pair this with sushi dish, which I will definitely not be eating because I hate fish. More into curry and pork dishes apparently as well. So some options for you there. So the second drink is Asahi. I'll leave that there. Hope you're all well. It's been a long summer. Lots of things happening in the transfer window. Some good, some bad. Plenty bad for Newcastle, but I'm optimistic things are going to change. What have you been up to? Have you been into any pre-season games? What are your thoughts on your teams? Let me know in all the comments at the end of this. Right, let's get into it then. So, the Premier League season. It starts again on Friday night, 8 o'clock. It's Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Champions first game, quite apt to be fair with you. I've had a big spending summer so far. 4 main first team transfers they've made. Kirkes, Frimpong, Wirtz and Ekitike, controversially Newcastle fan. Great additions to the team. Slot's bringing his own players in addition to the ones that he had fantastic from last season already. What I do think they are short of though is centre-backs. If they get an injury or two, they are in big trouble. They are in negotiations with a couple of players, Mark Gahey, and I believe they're in advanced negotiations with Leone from Parma as well. So we'll see how that goes. And potentially still Isak is going to be coming as well, so that'll up your spend even more. Really fancy Liverpool to win the Premier League this season, as I said in the previous video. You're playing Bournemouth. Now Bournemouth, on the other hand, they have lost quite a few first-team players, mainly in defence. They've lost the left-back Kirkes. They've lost centre-back Huijsen to Real Madrid. Sold him. Should say sold. Really, they've made money. They haven't just lost them. And they've also lost Zabani as well. Sold him to PSG, £55 million. Is it good business? Do they have a few PSR issues? That's why they're having to do this. And they haven't particularly replaced them fully yet. They also have lost Kepa, who was a big goalkeeper for them in the last season. He's now gone to Arsenal full time. Can't see any other result other than a win here for the home team, starting the season off strongly. So I'm going to say for the first game of the season, I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Bournemouth 0. Just in addition to that, I do like Bournemouth's attack. I do think Kluivert, Semenyo and Evan Nilsson will do really well this season. Just not Anfield on Friday, but you will get goals, I'm sure, for the rest of the season. Game 2, the one that I've been waiting for personally. Aston Villa at home to Newcastle on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. I'm hoping to be able to see this. I am flying away on Saturday, and it's going to be touch and go whether I'll be able to see the game in full. Hopefully I will. So Aston Villa, they haven't really splashed a lot of cash this summer. They've spent £35 million on Goussand, another striker to team up with Watkins. I really think you need to keep hold of Watkins, and I believe he will start on Saturday as well, in my opinion. There's also a little bit of potential needle with this because Newcastle have potentially put in a bid in for Jacob Ramsey, who I really like the look of. I think he's got great potential, and we do need a central midfielder. And last season, Aston Villa only lost once at home all season in the Premier League. Really impressive. Newcastle, on the other hand, Torre pre-season and Torre transfer situation as well. Still ongoing. Still need strikers. And I think a little bit toothless without Isak, who won't be playing on Saturday. I'm 100% sure of that. But I believe we will get players in. But for this game, I think we're going to be short. I really do. We've only had one win at Villa Park since 2014, so I think it's going to be a struggle, hard as that is to say, and I believe Aston Villa are going to win 3-1 on Saturday. Next game, 3 o'clock Saturday, Brighton at home to Fulham. Brighton, they're just a solid team, aren't they? Just go every season, buy players in, sell them on for big profit, get a new squad and seem to still perform. Absolutely incredible, really well run business. Tony Bloom, the owner. They've let Pedro go to Chelsea. I think I really fancied that player at Newcastle. João Pedro, he's going to perform really well for them, I believe. Big loss to them, but they've signed a Greek striker, Gustalos, from Olympiacos, £35 million. The scouts must have done the work. They believe that he's going to be a good player to spend that much money. Another gem, perhaps, that they've brought in there. Really good at home. Only lost 3 times at home last season, I believe it was. Drew 8, won at 8. So really solid. And I think, they're gonna do really well this season again. I think they'll be thereabouts 10th, 11th. And they want to be higher than that, but there's a lot of competition for those top 6 places. Fulham, on the other hand, I think they're going to struggle this season. I really do. The Jekyll and Hyde team, you never know what you're going to get from them. 1 minute Liverpool, like they did last season. The next they're going to lose to the bottom club in the table. You just don't know. No one really wants to put them on a betting coupon. Muniz is my favourite player for Fulham, but today there's news that there's a bid coming in for him as well. I think it'll get rejected because I really think he's a key player for them. Should they not need to sell, he won't be going anywhere. I really think Fulham might be relegation contenders this season. I'm not betting to go down, but I think they'll be down that area of the table, unfortunately. Hope I'm wrong for Fulham fans. For this game, I'm going to go home win. I can't see the result. I think it'll be close, but I fancy Brighton to win this one. I'm going to go with the Seagulls to win the first game of the season. For them, 1-0. Next up, Sunderland at home returned to the Premier League after 8 years away, at home to West Ham. The Mackems have been waiting a long time for this, haven't they, to come back. They've got derbies on the way, 2 derbies on the way minimum, if you don't draw them in another cup game. Fantastic signing, Janet Saka. I mean, how have you managed to get him? He's a really quality player, come from Bayer Leverkusen. Lots of additions, spent lots of money, and I think ultimately he will stay up this season, and that's good to hear, I'm sure, for you. Spent that money on decent players. There's another potential couple of players coming in for you, but you did need to improve the squad, bearing in mind what's gone on in previous seasons with promoted teams. I'm looking forward to those games massively, I really am, and I think that Sunderland's home form will save them. I think they'll do well at home. Gonna have to pick up a few wins away, of course. West Ham, tough season last season, wasn't it? Bearing in mind they only won European competition just 2 years ago, and really struggled last season. Lucky that there was 3 teams worse than them, or 4 teams worse than them in the end, with Tottenham as well. Jared Bowen, top player. I think without him you'd be in big trouble. Gets you out of a lot of trouble. Scores lots of goals for you. Class player. He could play in the top 16 quite easily. I'm surprised that no one's actually come in for him and bought him from West Ham, taking him off the hands. Graham Potter, West Ham fans, what do you think? He's totally uninspiring for me. I don't know the guy, but on the surface he just doesn't seem to have that persona that you want. He's went with the England job before Tuchel. I don't know where that came from. I think it's just because there is such a shortage of English managers, in my opinion. But you go in this season, you need to be much better in the league. You've got Callum Wilson on a free from Newcastle on a pay-as-you-play basis. Is that the quality that you need? Ultimately, I don't think it will be. Walker Peters to Debo on a permanent, made that permanent. But yeah, again, Graham Potter, the last real trophy he won was a Swedish Cup, 2017, so I don't get where that high praise comes from. I really don't. And I think for Saturday's game, I think that Sunderland will come out winners 2-1. Next game, Tottenham Hotspur versus Burnley on Saturday, 3 o'clock. Tottenham, similar to West Ham, terrible league season. All focus was gone on the league by February, March. I think that came from Big Ange, to be fair. I think he put all his eggs in one basket. He was obsessed with winning that trophy, wasn't he, his second season? This was the thing that was going on all year, the comments. But yeah, they need a better league season. New boss, Thomas Frank, he's not going to accept poor games in the league. He really isn't. He's going to bring fresh ideas. They're going to be less gung-ho. Hopefully there'll be less injuries for them as well, based on that. Defence is all back, fresh, fit, ready to go. Solanke, is he worth the money that they paid? He needs to get the goals this season. He's going to have to fire them in. Ultimately, I think Tottenham will be battling for 6th, 7th, 8th place at best. I don't think they're going to break in those Champions League places. Burnley, on the other hand, I bet them to go down in the bottom of the league. I really like Scott Parker, ex-Newcastle player. I just don't think, despite spending £100 million on new players, I just don't think they have enough ultimately. You brought an experience in Kyle Walker, but you've lost Trafford, to Old Trafford, to Manchester City, and Josh Brownhill's been released as well. Was a big player for you in the Championship. Conceded very little goals, 16 goals last season, but you're in the big leagues now. You've got to do better, and there'll be better strikers trying to score. I think they're going to try and hang on for the draw in this game, but I think ultimately Spurs are going to come out winners. I think it'll take a late goal. I really do. I think Spurs will push. I've gone for a home win. I've gone for Tottenham 1, Burnley 0. Half time in the games, half time beer. Corona glass for Asahi, don't ask. Next game, Wolves versus Manchester City. 5:30 kickoff on Saturday evening. Wolves, again, another team that I've backed to go down. Sold 2 big players. Matheus Cunha scored all the goals last season when he wasn't playing, when he had the suspension, missed him. And Out Nuri at left back, gone to Manchester City. Really classy fullback. He'll do really well at Manchester City, but your best 2 players are gone and you haven't really replaced them. So I fear for you. No big signings. Are you worried, Wolves fans? Let me know. You got one of the hardest first matches you could have had. The crowd's going to have to be behind you, and you're going to have to do something really impressive to beat this Manchester City team. I think Wolves ultimately going down. Manchester City, I think you're going to have a much better season. I think you're going to be challenging for the league. I think it'll be very close between Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. I think nailed on top 4. Brilliant signings, Reinders, Cherky, De Bruyne's gone, so big boots to fill. I think they'll do that. And I think Foden, he can't be any worse than last season. He just fell off a cliff, didn't he? He's going to be back. He's going to be back in the team, playing well. Rejuvenated, hopefully he needs to, because otherwise he's in danger of not making the World Cup squad. There's a lot of competition for that team. Obviously quite a fresh manager as well with Tuchel. Manchester City need to sort the defence out. They've got so much quality at the back, so many options. Just didn't work for them last season. I don't know what went wrong. It was bizarre. Fell off a cliff. Conceded so many goals, lost so many games in the middle part of the year. I think Pep will sort it out. And Haaland, if he stays fit, bags and bags of goals. I think he's going to score in this game. Actually got him down here. Going for a hat-trick. Which is not a big statement to make because he does score so many. But I have gone with this game. I've gone for 0 Wolves, 3 Manchester City on Saturday night. Next up, I have got at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, Sunday at 2 o'clock. Really looking forward to this one, actually. I think they're 2 very attacking teams. London derby, always good. Chelsea signed 2 top strikers, and Pedro and Delap. I think Pedro will play. I'm really impressed with Pedro. Another Newcastle target that went by. Should have got the bid in earlier. I'm going to back him to score quite a lot of goals this season. In all competitions, I fancy him to get 20 plus quite comfortably. He's that good. I really rate him. Build a team around Palmer. Get the team around Palmer. I think Maresca does know his best 11, perhaps, without injuries. He's got defensive issues for this game. Badiashile, Cole out for this season. So, going to have to bring other players in. Lucky defence, perhaps, for the game. Crystal Palace, so good. Liverpool at the weekend, and didn't want the season to end last season, did they? Cup win, great in the league at the end of the season, turned things around massively, really impressive. Like Eze, like Mateta, absolute beast up front again. Surprised no one's coming in for him. And Henderson in goals, absolute machine. Should be number 1 in England team. Controversial. I know Pickford's fancied by a lot. I think Palace could shock a few this season. For this game, I'm going to go for Desmond. I'm going to go for 2-2. Next, we are going to Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. Nottingham Forest. Have you got PSR issues? Perhaps because you've spent less than you've actually made in profit. £51 million profit on players so far. PSR issues perhaps involved in that. You're going to have to bounce Thursday nights being bumped up into the Europa League during the court battle. Crystal Palace obviously losing that place for ownership rule breaking. Chris Wood continues to score the goals, hopefully. Will he score as many as last season? He's going to have to go some to do that again in this team, bouncing those games. I think ultimately Nottingham Forest are not going to be as good. They're going to be mid-table. I'll put them in 10th place, around that area. Brentford, in the first episode, batch to go down. What do you think about that, Brentford fans? I just think too much upheaval. I think you lost your main man in Boyemo goals, Captain Norgard, and then obviously the boss, the big chief who's been there in the Premier League for you, Thomas Frank to Tottenham, and potentially Wisser to the Magpies that way. So yeah, I think you're going to be struggling this season. I really do. Back to go down. The Bees have lost the sting, haven't they? Newcastle lost the sting. I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest to win this game comfortably 2-0. Possibly the biggest match of the weekend for football fans. Manchester United at home to Arsenal. So, Old Trafford, big season for both these teams for different reasons, isn't it? Manchester United, you spent 200 million plus on a new front three. It's a lot of money. I think the three that you've signed are good, but that's about it. I don't think they're great. I think they're good, and I think you needed great to get you where you want to be ultimately, which is top four, challenging for titles. So I think that you also need proven goalkeeper and centre back. Get Donnarumma. Honestly, break the bank. Get Donnarumma. He's obviously wanting out of PSG. They're replacing him. Got to go in for him. Bonks if you don't, in my opinion. I think you've needed a goalkeeper since Onana signed the day stand. He's absolutely terrible. So many mistakes. He's horrific. I think I'd have a better go in goals, and I know I'm terrible. The whole squad, they need to give 10% more on everything. Tackling, running, passing. It might even be more than that, to be fair. They're not giving enough for the shirt. Sound a bit like Roy Keane there, don't I? Arsenal, they've got the striker, Gyökeres. Finally, you got him in. Is he going to be the one for? He's going to score enough goals. 39 goals in the Portuguese league last season. I think you're going to need at least half of that again from him this season to compete and even possibly go for the title. If he doesn't get that, I don't see where else all the goals are going to come from for you. Brilliant at the back though. Saliba, Gabriel, Raya in goals. I think he's the best keeper in the league, so he'll keep a lot of clean sheets and win you a lot of points, but will it be enough to win the title? I don't think so ultimately. Arteta, a lot of pressure, needs to get a trophy this season. I think he'll be under a huge pressure from the fans, from the board, but I think Arsenal this game, they're going to win it 2-1. And the final game of the week, Monday Night Football, coming from Leeds United versus Everton, 8 o'clock kickoff. Leeds fans, big story for you at the start of the summer. Are we going to keep the manager, Daniel Farke? Are we going to replace him with someone else? How long does he have? Does he have 4 games, 6 games, 10 games to prove that he's good enough? He's not going to get long. If you don't get enough points, I think Leeds will be on your horse and away. I really do. Longstaff bought in a midfield from Newcastle, and potentially today as well, talks with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Is that the kind of player that you need to keep you up? He's had a lot of injuries, and Perry in goals as well, a replacement goalkeeper. Leeds are going to need the atmosphere to be raucous, like a cup final every game. They're going to need to get every point at home they can to stay up. Learn lessons from 2 years ago. I know it will be. I know the fans will be up for it, but really are going to have to put it in. Everton, rejuvenated under David Moyes. Jack Grealish coming on loan. A couple of the great signings we've got here. We've got Barry from Villarreal, Dewsbury Hall. Alcaraz is signed on a permanent deal. Really like him. He's a really good player, solid player. New stadium to look forward to as well, but you're going to have to wait to go there. You're away from home first game. I think Everton will be fine this season. I think, again, similar sort of position, 13th, 12th. And Leeds, I think you will stay up as well. I've actually got this game down. Last game, boring. 1-1 for Monday Night Football. Hoping to catch a little bit of that as well whilst I'm away. So, little feature on the show each week, a little bet. It's called Tricky's Treble. which obviously means there's going to be 3 teams that I pick and try and win some money. With a twist, so any profit that I make from any bets, so I've got to win some bets first, but half of the winnings I'm going to put in a pot end of the season, and I'm going to give that to Dementia UK. It means a lot to me at the moment. My nan passed away back in November, and the funeral was in December, and I miss her like hell, but I think this is a really good cause and I'm looking to do that, so hopefully I need some help from you guys and we'll make some money for it. The trickiest treble is Aston Villa to beat the 2, and as I say, don't want to do that, but I really don't fancy this. The form doesn't say we're going to get anything. Manchester City to beat Wolves, and Arsenal to beat Manchester United. I had a little £5 bet on this. The odds were exactly 11-2 actually, fun enough, with Sky Bet, and that's a £32.50 return. So I'll be holding my breath for that to get some money in the pot in week 1. Just an afterthought, let's score these games, let's get some points on the go. For all 10 games, if you get a correct result, give yourself 1 point. If you get the correct score, give yourself 3 points. Let's have a competition, let's see who can beat Tricky on the predictions. Makes sense to do that, doesn't it? Put your comments into the comments section after this. Please like and subscribe the videos as well. Trying to get myself out there. It's new to me as well, this is. Get those predictions in, and I'll mention the best ones in the next episode that I'll film. Anyway, that's it for me for tonight. Cheers to everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a great week. Enjoy the football.